I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs, and if you can dream it, we can probably make it. We can custom laser cut and engrave on nearly all material. Great for one-of-a-kind gifts, home decor, business and specialty items, or personalized and logoed designs created just for you or your company. Allow us to become your go-to gift and specialty project partner. Romika Designs can help make your ideas a reality. We're ready to help you design and create that special gift for any occasion or engrave your personal or business logo on just about any product. View our designs at romikadesigns.com or simply email us with your ideas. We specialize in custom design and we'd be honored to have the opportunity to discuss it with you. Call us at 817-400-4040, email info@romikadesigns.com, or visit us on the web at romikadesigns.com.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. That's 800-240-4587.
Out of deck carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they've got you covered.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to No Judgment here. I am your host, Tish Ross. Tonight, my guests are here to discuss a great loss. Lashandra, tell me if it's Lashandra. I couldn't hear you a minute ago, or Lachandra. Lashandra. Okay, thank you so much. Lashandra is my guest here tonight. She suffered a great loss. She lost two of her children just 4 months apart, and she lost it to what has now become a huge pandemic all over the world. We're going to be talking about fentanyl. And when I was looking up the definition of fentanyl, what I read was that it is 50 to 100 times more potent than morphine, and that it's typically used for those with advanced cancer pain. Of course, it's an opioid, and it's used for many different types of surgeries or whatnot in terms of coping with pain or aiding in that to lessen the pain. But I also read that some of the side effects are relaxations, euphoria, sedation, pain relief, confusion, drowsiness, dizziness, vomiting, and nausea. I also have Erica here with Reach Across Johnson County. Erica, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. She is going to help us, Lashandra, with some facts and some information that I certainly would not be able to share with our listeners. And of course, we have listeners that tune in to JOCO Community Radio. They tune into and listen to on Facebook, on YouTube, and then this podcast is sent out and is sent to many, many, many other podcast platforms. And so I'm thankful for you, Lashandra, for agreeing to come in. I just so happened to be scrolling along on TikTok one day, and there was something about you, because there's a lot of times when I can scroll through and think, but you had a group of women that had been joining you on TikTok, and it was a TikTok live. And when I stopped to watch it, I noticed that there was a picture of two children that sits behind you. And actually, I see it here on the radio. I see your son and your daughter, Deja and Roderick, the two of your children that have passed. And when I stopped to listen to your story, you sharing and being so raw and so vulnerable, sharing your story of your loss, I thought, what a strong woman you are. And my husband and I lost our son. He was 25 when he passed. He was killed in a motorcycle accident along with his girlfriend. And you have made it your mission. I can see that. And again, I don't know you really well at all, other than just watching your TikTok. But you have made it your mission to bring awareness about this deadly pandemic. Before I get to Erica, and Erica, again, I appreciate you coming in last minute. I so appreciate you. Before I get to Erica, Lashandra, I just want you to just tell us a little bit about yourself, and also want you to share a little bit of just greatness of your two children, Roderick and Deja.
My name is Lashandra Moore. I live in Memphis, Tennessee. 2021, I came home from work. Well, I went to work, a good day at work. I came in, when I got home, I thought I was going to just take the bed, crawl up in the bed, look at TV, and, wind down. But I walked in the evening, and when I came in, I found my daughter, Deja, in the living room. She was out in the ottoman. I ran to her. I pushed the ottoman out the way, and I grabbed her, and I pulled her, I could lay her down, and I was shaking her and slapping her. It was all kinds of stuff coming out of her nose, and I was trying to make her wake up, and I was begging her to wake up. And when I realized that she, I said, it's over, days, get your, and
I'm sorry.
That's the most. That's the most devastating. It's just like you gotta forgive me because I get caught up in my emotion, my story, because I'm reliving it,
Of
and I'm
course.
just right here how I found her, begging her to wake up, but it's my baby. I'm talking about. I fought those demons with her, helped save my child.
Absolutely. Lashandra, I'm going to
So
pause you right quick so that no one misses your story because I want to make sure everybody captures it and hears it. But can you do me a huge favor? We're having a little bit of technical difficulties in terms of hearing you clearly. So I want to try I'm going to try one thing, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to have you call the station. So the first thing, do you have any headphones that you could put on? And if you don't, that's okay.
well, I have they're downstairs.
Okay. Let me have you go ahead and call the radio station. And that way we can get you through here. Now, when you call the radio station, you're going to need to mute the volume on your lap. No, not your laptop. Just go ahead and call the radio station. We're going to see how it goes. Let me give you the number, okay?
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, no
Okay,
worries.
give me the
Okay.
number.
The number is 817 637.
Wait a minute. Has a little bit more juice. I don't want no problems. 1 second. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Really? Number. Oh
Can you
my
just let me
God.
know when you're ready? No worries. No worries. It's
Okay. My phone seemed like it. Okay, here we go. 817.
637
Okay.
2585.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see how this works.
And so you're gonna want me to
Joco Live Radio Caller. Joco Live Radio Call.
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. Can you mute your laptop? Okay. I think that. Hold on 1 second. And everything is muted on your end? Ooh.
except my cell phone.
Okay, try to turn the volume down on your cell phone. Okay, hold on.
How's that?
Ooh, that's good, I think. Oh no.
It's echo.
Can you hear me? Okay, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Oh, I don't know. Was that it, Tiffany? Now I can't hear her though. Plug that in, but put that phone on mute. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm so glad you're here, Erica. Okay, hold on 1 second. Hold on, Deja. You guys haven't had this issue? Okay, I can't even get the phone to come up. Maybe you can. And it looks like the battery's about to die. Okay. Sorry, Deja. Sorry, Chandra.
It's okay.
No, still. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's see here. Okay, can we try again? Or can you hear me? No. Can you hear me?
I hear
Oh
you.
my gosh. I don't know what it is. Hold on, Lashandra. Studio phone off. Take studio phone off mute on the board. Hold on. Hello.
Just take that phone off of speakerphone.
It's not on speaker. It's not on speaker.
Okay. Do you have, did you accidentally hit the mute button on it to where she can't hear you?
No, it's unmuted. Yeah, it's unmuted.
Okay. Did you hit the phone line on the soundboard should be unmuted for phone?
Yes, it's unmuted.
Okay. And she can't hear you?
No, she can hear me, but there's just tons of feedback.
It's on her end. We can take it off the speakerphone.
Lashandra, do you have your phone on speakerphone?
No.
Do you have earbuds in?
Do you have earbuds in by chance?
I don't. Should I go and get them?
She does not.
No, if she is, okay, how is she hearing you then? Her phone has to be on speaker.
Lashandra, so your phone is probably on speaker since you're able to hear me that way.
My phone is not on speaker.
Does she have the phone up over here?
Can you,
Computer volume muted.
is your computer volume muted as well? On your laptop? Yes, it is.
I have it muted.
She has a mute on.
Is your computer muted?
Yes, my computer is muted as well as my cell phone.
Hang up with her until you're going to call her right back.
Okay, Lashandra, I'm going to hang up with you and then I'm going to call you right back. So when I do, just pick up the phone like you would normally take a phone call and just listen to it to your ear, I think, maybe. We'll try that.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to call you right back.
Tish, stay on with me.
Okay, I'm going to stay.
Do you have 2 cords plugged into the phones?
No, only one.
Okay. Do you have the power cord and the microphone? Because you said it was dying.
It is dying, but
Power cord's already plugged in underneath and should be laying in front of you.
okay, let's see if this is it. Okay, yeah, I got that. Okay, I'm going to try to call her back.
Okay. And don't put it on speaker.
Okay.
Although it still sounds like it's echoing.
It is echoing.
Somebody's sound is on.
Okay, I'm going to try. I think it might have been the volume on my cell phone. Okay, I'm going to try to call her. Hold on, let me find her number.
Yeah, if you're playing it on your phone, you got feedback from one of those, your computer or your phone.
Okay.
Does that computer need to have volume?
Does the main computer need to have volume?
Yes, I'm logged into that computer right now.
Okay.
Everything's the way it's supposed to be.
Okay. For people that are listening, hang tight. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Hang tight. We're going to get you back on, Lashandra. Okay.
Hey, this is live radio, people.
Okay. Now, will she need to be on speaker when I answer the phone? Okay. Okay. Not even on this phone.
Take the phone up and put it to her ear.
Right.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay. She's here. I don't think we hear any feedback anymore.
All right, guys.
Okay. Thanks. All right. Bye. Oh, my Lanta. That's a first. Can you hear me, Lashandra?
I have my phone on speaker. I can hear you.
Yay!
I
Awesome.
turned the volume all the way down on my iPad, even though I did have it muted.
Okay,
So
perfect.
Okay.
We can hear you. It's all good, nice and clear. Thank you. I hope everybody that was on is still on and is hanging in there with us. We appreciate it. The feed and the noise was on our end, LaShandra, and I apologize for that. We're going to
It's
get
okay.
back to your story. Somebody, the enemy, does not want us to share this, but we're going to share it because we need to try and help save lives. So thanks everybody for hanging in there. So you said that you walked in and Deja was on the recliner and you pushed the ottoman out of the way. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so obviously when you found her, she had already passed, correct?
Yes.
And how did you find out that she had passed from a fentanyl overdose?
Because I knew that she was taking pills.
Mm.
And I knew that it was a chance, buying pills off the streets, that this would happen
Mm-hmm.
because we talked about it.
And did you call 911 or call the
Yes.
police? And
Yes, I did.
Mhm. And they came obviously, and did they say that she was already too far gone to try to resuscitate, or did they try to?
Yes.
Mm.
They tried. The thing is, I don't know how long she had been laying there.
Gotcha.
My
And
son left for work about 1:30, he said, and she was up laughing with her friends on the phone.
and what time did you get home?
I got home about 5:30.
Gotcha. Oh my goodness. And that was April 5th of 2021 when you lost Deja. Is that correct?
Yes.
Mhm. And how old was she?
23.
She was 23 years old. And then your son Roderick passed just 4 months later, on August
4 months
19th.
later.
And how old was
I-
Roderick?
He was 34.
He was 34. And had he been using that you know of, or how did Roderick pass?
He was taking Xanax in prison. He passed in prison.
Hmm. So it was from the Xanax that he
Well,
passed?
yes. I didn't know that at first. I couldn't understand what had happened.
Mhm.
And COVID was really bad, and I thought maybe it was that. I got a call from an inmate on their cell phone inside of the prison that told me what happened. I found out what happened, before the prison officials even called.
Wow.
They called about 4 hours after I found out what happened.
And first of all, I want to say that I'm so sorry for your loss, your losses. And one of the comments that is here said, that one of the listeners says that no mother should ever have to endure this kind of pain, the loss of a child. And were you able to, I know Roderick was in prison, but were you able to give him an appropriate burial, funeral, both he and his sister?
Yes, I was. Yes,
Mhm.
I was. I was able to. I had to have his body shipped back to Memphis. Planned the funeral, had to wait, and I buried my son. Like I said, COVID was really bad, so I had to bury him 3 weeks after his funeral, his memorial service.
Mm.
And I was able to bury him right next to Deja by the grace of God.
Yes, thank God.
Right next to her.
I'm gonna just really quickly move to Erica, and then Deja, I want to get back with you, and we're going to talk about insurance, something that you brought up that was extremely important, as well as your nonprofit, One More Kiss. I want to move to Erica and ask you, Erica, what is going on, and tell me a little bit first about Reach Across Johnson County.
Hi. Okay. So Reach Across Johnson County is a nonprofit here in Texas. We are a 501(c) charity. And primarily we do youth prevention. That looks like many things in the county that we're in, but primarily we do things like have school programs, talk to the kids, set up booths, hand out information. We will be having an upcoming prom event where we're going to give away prom attire, but also educational pieces. The children will be, or the students will be required to come in and do at least 3 of the education pieces to qualify for a free outfit. And we are hoping to educate not only our youth, but our parents. Because honestly, before I started in this line of work, I had no idea about the dangers of fentanyl. And we're not talking about your regular fentanyl that's prescribed by the doctor. They are making this stuff illegally on the streets, out of homes, using a ninja blender in their living room.
Wow.
They are making all these counterfeit pills that are meant to look like other things. A lot of these people are unknowingly ingesting fentanyl and dying. They are now being called fentanyl poisonings because they have no idea that that's what those pills are cut with.
And so something that we were chatting about earlier, and it really makes so much sense now that Lashandra has said that Roderick was taking Xanax. You had mentioned earlier when we were chatting that things like Xanax, other medications, could be anything, Ritalin, could be Adderall, could be anything that these people that are making these drugs can lace them with.
Yes, ma'am. They are. It's not like something like cannabis where it has to have a season and it has to grow and they have to wait. This is something they can reproduce quickly, easily, very cheaply. And there's not any care when these kind of things are used. And your prescriptions or the pills that are pressed and made to look like prescription drugs. Also, they're using this product to cut other drugs like cocaine, meth, ecstasy, heroin. But yes, so your typical, even some of your typical kids that you wouldn't consider a risk factor are taking these pressed pills and dying. They are thinking they're taking a Xanax or an Adderall to help them study, and it has a fatal dose of fentanyl.
And we were talking about you and I, as well as Lashandra and I, whenever we had sort of a pre-interview, we were talking about that this pandemic knows no religion, it knows no race, no gender, no age. Children. I mean, I watched on the news here just in Texas not too long ago that there was a 12-year-old that unfortunately thought she was eating a piece of candy and it was also laced and she died. And I just, the old, I'm old. And so I remember when my parents used to say, do not take candy from strangers. Do not walk away from your drink when I was 21. Do not take any medications from anybody. Take and carry your own medications. And I'm so thankful that I listened to them and that is really ingrained in my head. But this generation, and it's unfortunate because after COVID, kind of like Lashandra was talking about, it got so bad. But also, do you think that because people were isolated, I don't know if if they correlate, but there's a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety from having to be at home or locked up, and kids are just trying to do anything to get rid of some of that. Do you think that?
Definitely. We have expanded our program recently to include mental health. We have gotten grant funding to help incorporate mental health in our program because it is so important. So many are turning to unsafe coping mechanisms, which does include alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. I was in the healthcare field, and I noticed amongst my peers even that maybe didn't have much of a history of drinking. We're going home and drinking every night. There's isolation, there's depression, anxiety, like you said, the stresses. Some people like us had to still work. We had to go every day. It didn't matter because we were essential. But there's also other people that lost their jobs and didn't have a way of income, or weren't allowed to leave the house, or trying to stay safe by being at home, and the boredom and the loneliness starts to creep in.
We're quickly going to commercial break, and then when we return, Lashandra, I want to get back with you, and we want to chat about the importance of insurance and your nonprofit. Okay, we're going to go on a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. You guys stay tuned.
Accelerated Graphics and Signs, 101 East Renfro, Suite C in Burleson, Texas, can handle all of your graphic needs. Need a banner or promotional products for your business? They got you covered. T-shirts and caps for your group. All you need to figure out is if you want them screen printed or embroidered. How about some slick graphics on that hot ride to make you stand out from the crowd? Accelerated Graphics and Signs can handle anything you throw at them. Located at 101 East Renfro Street, Suite C in Burleson, Texas, go in and see them. Call them at 817-991-0523 or reach them on the web at www.acceleratedgraphics.net. They are loud and proud and want to serve you. Accelerated Graphics.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
The voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
All right, guys, we are back. Joco Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio Network. TuneInJoco.com is the place to find all the ways to listen and watch. And the station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store. Check out our lineup and more at JocoCommunityRadio.com. This episode and more is brought to you by Next Level Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep at 844-TEXHAIL. That's 844-839-4245. And do not forget to dress your arms and more at thetiffy.com. All right, we are back. And I'm going to quickly give some shout outs to some of the people that have stayed with us. I'm so happy that you guys are here. Full Blown Country. These are some YouTube people that have connected via YouTube. Sherman's Family Farm is here. Eileen, welcome to my kitchen. Steve C., we're glad you're here. Treasure Hunter is here. Kickapoo Crafty Cat is also here. Hey, and if you guys want to, you can, as always, can put the description of your channel in the comments so that others that are listening or may tune in later will be able to click on and find you. We have plenty of people that have some really great YouTube channels here. So, Lashandra, I want to go back to you. And time sure does fly, especially when you have technical difficulties. And again, I apologize to you for that.
Okay.
What made you? So when I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw you and I started, like I said, I thought, man, what a strong woman. What was it that made you decide to go on this mission? What was it? When was that turning point for you?
Okay, so early 2022, I created a T-shirt brand called One More Kiss. One More Kiss is in honor of my children.
Mm.
One More Kiss is about losing a loved one. That's originally why I created it.
Mm.
But as I was talking about telling my story and telling people how I came up with the brand, I started talking about how my children passed, and all of a sudden, it's something came in me to like talk about the dangers of fentanyl.
Mm.
And so I started talking about it and researching it more, and here I am. And that's what I do. I get on social media every morning and I talk to parents or anybody that'll listen about the dangers of fentanyl because I was naive to the drug. And I don't want other parents to have to go through what I'm going through. Like if somebody was on social media talking about it, like I'm doing now, and other creators, then maybe, just maybe, I would have seen it and maybe I could have did something different when it came to my children, at least talking about it. I didn't know. I heard about the drug, but I didn't know that people were dying
Mm.
like they are. And it seems like it has gotten worse. I just didn't know. And I was naive and I don't have a problem saying it. And I just want to help somebody else. That's it.
And I love that about you because when you and I were chatting on the phone a few days ago, you and I were talking about, we always think that, or I'll speak for myself. I thought with my own children, I thought, oh, my child would never do that,
I thought that, of course. I
and
thought that, yeah.
yeah. And I think sometimes
Right.
too, that, it maybe the curiosity, maybe it is a child that is not the kind of child that would normally do drugs or even be someone who is thinking about, I want to try this and I want to try that. What if it's somebody that is taking a pill from a friend who thinks, like Erica was saying, who thinks it's to help with their Adderall, or to help with their
Exactly.
ADHD.
It happens all the time.
And right now,
They
the
may have
scary
said that you get this good feeling from it. Oh, you're gonna be relaxed and you're gonna feel good and it'll help you sleep or this, that, and the other. No. And they don't necessarily know that it's gonna kill you because just because it's a pressed pill, you may break it in half. You take half, I take half. I died, you don't, because more of the fentanyl was in that half of the pill that I had taken.
Oh my gosh. Do you know what, Lashandra? That is exactly what Erica was saying earlier. She said that, what if a kid is like, no, I'm not going to take some unless you take some. And exactly. That is just, it is, I'll say too, that I'm very naive to that as well until it started becoming something that I noticed on the news and on social media. And you had mentioned as well when we were chatting earlier, first of all, thank you for sharing your stories on social media because, like you said, maybe, just maybe, there will be a parent or even a young teenager who is on TikTok that will see and hear your story that may stop them from not trying something or not taking what they think is medication from a friend.
Yes.
You had mentioned to me the importance of insurance, and I know that probably to some people might sound funny, but tell me what we were talking about when we were talking about insurance.
Everybody needs to have insurance, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't, get it now. Especially if your children are out here living reckless and they're doing drugs and we can't stop them. We don't want them to do it, but we can't stop them. Get some insurance because it's not a matter of if, they're gonna die using fentanyl. It's a matter of when. And you don't need that financial burden. At least you're already going through enough. At least you can bury them in peace and not have to
Absolutely.
worry about that. Because this is a stressful situation that affects addiction affects the whole family.
And
It's
how are
devastating.
you have other children too, don't you?
I have two other children, my middle children.
And how are you and your children, your other children, how are you guys getting through this? How? I mean, you are so strong.
We're just getting along by the grace of God. But people don't see all the pain. A lot of people on social media may see mine because, like today, I'm really tired, but sometimes I can't even tell my story without crying.
Mm.
Like they have things going on in their mind, like they're grieving their sister and brother, but they try not to let me see it because they want to be strong for me. But I can tell in my children's actions when they get upset or angry,
Mm-hmm.
when they get they start thinking about their siblings and they talk about it a little.
Can I ask you, this is might be a hard question. Well, because I would know the answer for my own after losing my son, my husband and losing my son, but I'm going to ask you this. Do you find yourself maybe being, I don't know if paranoid is the right word, maybe
Yes,
with your other two children?
yes. I'm glad you asked that question. I'm glad you asked that.
Mm.
After my children passed, every time my phone rang, I was scared and nervous that somebody was calling to say something that happened to one of my other children.
Mm.
I had to pray very hard and ask God to help me.
Hmm.
It was bad,
Do you have a
and I
good
still.
support system, of friends and family to help you, Lashandra?
Um, I would say a little, but most people, friends, family, they think I'm crazy because I'm on social media talking about what happened to my children. See, you have to understand a lot of people are ashamed of people dying from fentanyl and they sweep it under the rug like it never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not what happened to them. But I could not go on without talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is therapeutic for me. I should have gone to grief counseling and I should have taken my children, but I didn't. So we're dealing with it the best way that we can. I wasn't thinking about even going to
Mm-hmm.
grief counseling.
Mm-hmm.
I just let God handle everything for me. But that's not to say that they're not doing it like that. They're not trusting and depending on God fully. I know my children,
Mm-hmm.
so they're just holding it in.
Well, one of the good things is that they see their mom, and yes, people. It's unfortunate because I believe that it even it goes back to way long ago when I'll just even speak for myself when I made a horrible choice, and you know it's keep it in the family, don't say anything.
Right.
But as a child, though, then I believe that kind of thwarts your way of thinking. That maybe it actually made me feel shameful. And
Yes.
then I didn't want to talk about it because I was embarrassed or ashamed, for driving under influence. And I just feel like these days that social media is here, it's not going anywhere. And because of these pandemics, because of these things, it can be a very useful tool. And if it's therapeutic, right on then, keep on keeping on,
Thank you.
don't I
It helped me, really.
it does. And I think we have to share what is going on. And again, without embarrassment, without shame, we have no control over um the destinies of our children or ourselves. And I think keeping it hidden it does far more worse than it would good. Do you agree?
I do agree. And also, I have to do this
Mhm.
because a lot of people I say family. I mean, they may not say it, but they feel like you still grieving. People don't understand grief if you have not gone through this. You don't understand. I get on social media and I talk, and people listen to me and they respond. And a lot of people are going through the same thing, and they look to me for answers. Like, but I'm just coming to them as from a grieving mother's point of view.
Mhm. But at least they know that they're not alone. And thank
And that,
God for you.
it helped me.
Yes. And so I have a couple listeners that posted, that is how I got through my son's death, by talking to whomever would listen to me. God bless
That's
you.
right. That's right.
Another listener says, oh my goodness, that is just another way of torture for you to have to worry about your other children or a phone call.
Oh my
You know,
God.
but who wouldn't, right?
Right.
And so, Erica, tell before I ask you this question, Erica, let me just get really fast. Lashandra, tell me the name of your nonprofit and how can people help? Because I can add those links to the YouTube channel. How can people help? Is it donations, monetary donations? What are you doing with your nonprofit?
Okay. With my nonprofit is One More Kiss. With my nonprofit, I do accept donations. I have a website where I sell t-shirts, hoodies, different things. And when people shop on my website, it goes right back in the community because I'm always trying to do something in the community. I'm trying to get bulk amounts of Narcan. I want to get out in the streets and pass them out, fentanyl testing strips. So I keep asking and asking, but it'll come one day. But I'm having a community, a fentanyl awareness community event in March 18th, and it's all funded by One More Kids Foundation because I want to talk to the children. I want to help them, and I at least want to look in their eyes and know that they know what's going on.
That is beautiful. And so people can give monetary donations if they go to your website, One More Kiss.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
and then
yes.
they can also
I have a
purchase.
donations link.
Excellent.
I don't really know how to share it though. Listen, because I just started on social media, so I don't know how to do all that stuff yet, but I'm working on it, y'all. Bear with me.
That's okay, but you have a website, correct? And they can
Yes,
go to that
ma'am.
website, One More Kiss, and then there's a donation tab on there that they can.
Does One More Kiss also have a Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok?
Yes, Facebook is One More Kiss. Or either they can follow me, LaShandra Moore. Um, TikTok is Fighting for Fent Awareness. And I also have Grieving Mothers United. That's where you saw me at Tish. I opened up the panel on that page and talked to other grieving mothers or whoever we talk about addiction. Well, you saw it. You saw it. Addiction, parents grieving and a lot of other things.
And so, Erica, you had mentioned that you're not sure about the laws and things like that in Tennessee, but you had mentioned that Reach of Johnson County, which is also a nonprofit, you were able to find grants possibly to help that nonprofit.
Yes, they have a national database that has grants. If you look for different things, you may have to type in wordings a lot of different ways. And our local library has this particular database, but not every library would have it. Maybe you could call around and ask if your particular library has it because it is a very expensive program, but it pretty much lists every grant available and you would just have to put in like fentanyl, Narcan, just any kind of word combination that you might be able to think of for it to bring up grants, and then you can apply for grants. Now, if you get
Thank you.
yes, ma'am, and if you get real far involved, you'll probably need a grant writer at some point, or maybe even a grant writer that would be willing to donate their time to help you get some of those funds to
That would
maybe
be
get on that.
awesome.
But we would love to talk to you also at Reach across Johnson County. But
Okay.
I just wanted to say that I heard a sermon earlier today. I believe his name is Tim Ross, and he's out of Dallas. a pastor there, and he was talking about you will not heal without reveal.
Mm.
And he was talking about how you take your testimony and reveal it to some of those select people that you care about or that are there for you. But I think it's incredibly strong and brave and hard, I'm sure, for you to share your testimony with others. But the possibility, like you said, that you may keep another parent from going through that same thing is incredible. And I know that has to be God's strength keeping you going through this time.
That's it.
And I believe that some of us are just called to do some of these things. And for you to make a tragedy into a triumph, we will not let them be forgotten.
Amen, Erica. And that
Thank
is
you.
so
Yeah.
true. I mean, honestly, I do believe, Lashandra, that whenever, I scrolled past your page, again, there was something about you. And just like Erica said, some of us are called, God calls some of his mightiest soldiers. And you, my friend, are doing God's work here on earth. And we will not let Deja or Roderick's death be in vain. I mean, they have a legacy now. They have a legacy, and their legacy is saving lives through their mom reaching out and, like Erica said, using God's strength to share because, woof, to even occasionally, and it gets better, but occasionally to share about my son, which of course I love talking about him. And I think one of the things that people are afraid to ask parents about the children that they have passed. But
They are.
But I want to say, please don't be afraid because we want to talk about them. We
do.
don't want them to be forgotten. We want to share about them. So please ask us the questions so we can bore you to death with how amazing they are, right? So Erica, do you have any final message that you can share with us, any of the listeners, and Lashandra?
Yes, actually, I do want to share that right now, the leading cause of death for ages 18 to 45 is going to be drug poisoning and overdose.
My gosh.
Around 295 people a day.
Oh my gosh.
And I know you mentioned Narcan, and our group has also been handing out Narcan, or we have the trade name Cloxato, and that is a nasal spray administered. There are 2 dosages in each box available. And just to let people know, if you go to the pharmacy, you can actually get this medication and keep it on hand. If you know, and at least in Texas, you can. I'm not sure about your laws in Tennessee.
What's that called again?
The generic name is naloxone.
Yeah.
This reverses the effects of an opioid. Now, if you were to give it to somebody and they are not having an overdose, it has no ill effects. So really,
Okay.
you can't do harm by administering this, but just make sure to please would do a follow-up call to 911 because after 30 minutes, they can go back into an overdose situation. This is only a temporary solution.
I never knew that.
Me either.
Yes, ma'am. And
I did not know that part.
we have started providing this Cloxato because it is a higher dose. We have 8 milligrams per dose. And sometimes the fentanyl is so highly concentrated in these pills or whatever they're cut with that they often need more than 1 dose just to be able to come back around.
Wow. And so that's amazing that comes with 2 doses.
Yes. And it's easy to administer, although I know some people do recommend the injectable. That way that, people know that they're actually getting the medication into their system because sometimes their nose or passageways can be blocked by mucus. Even vomit if they've gotten sick from it. But I'd say a nasal spray is easy to administer. Almost anybody can do it. I think anybody, even, sick grandma, she might forget and she might take another pill of her medication. You just don't know. Anybody that hosts a lot of kids coming over your house, maybe your house is the hangout house. You do not know what someone has in their pocket. You don't. And keep that on hand. You cannot go wrong by going to the pharmacy and getting yourself a dose and keeping it on hand. And talk to your kids.
Yeah.
Talk to your kids.
Talk to your kids. I talked to mine. He was 10 when I started, and he knows what fentanyl is. He knows what Narcan and naloxone is. And it's the sad truth, but that's what we do. We have to educate our children and educate other people as well. And just know that the Good Samaritan laws protect you if, for instance, there was any kind of harm, but also if you were another party and you were also using illegal substance, you are protected. Please do not be afraid to call and get help for somebody.
So if you were under the influence and then you
Right.
noticed,
If you were under the influence, if you have drugs on you, call. It is okay to call 911. You are not in
'cause they'd be
trouble.
scared.
You are
Mhm.
protected at this point. It
And
is
they
a
will
medical
leave you.
emergency, and they will help you, and you will not go to jail. You
thank
are
you for
protected.
sharing that. There's a lot of
Yeah, I
things
was
that,
just going to say that.
you know, I'm so glad. And it was very last minute that Erica came in. I thought, you know what? Reach Across Johnson
I
County.
appreciate that.
Me too. And so, Lashandra, would it be okay if I shared your number with Erica in case?
Please do.
Okay. Just in case there might be some, I don't know. I mean, even just this education that you're sharing with us, maybe she can share with you via email or something like that. That way you have this. It's such important information.
And we also have a show on Joco Radio, and we do podcasts that we share on our Facebook and our website. So please, yes, definitely reach out. I would love to visit more with you and to get your story out there.
And your
Yes.
Facebook page is
Reach Across Johnson County.
okay. Awesome.
And I will make sure to add that.
Perfect. I appreciate you so much. Lashandra, before we go, I want you to tell me, who is Lashandra today? Who are you today?
Wow. Lashandra today is a strong woman, and I'm fighting to save these children because of what happened to mine. I am so passionate about this.
I know you are.
Help anybody that I can. I want something done about this fentanyl.
Well, you are definitely one strong woman. And I can't reiterate enough what Erica said, is that, you know, God has called you for his purpose. And you're doing such an incredible, incredible job in sharing your message, your story, your truth of losing your two children to this pandemic. And I can see and I can hear in your voice that you won't stop until your last day.
Tired I get. Some days I don't feel like it, but I got to keep pushing.
And you pushed it today because you just got in from...
I just got in from New Orleans. It was wild down there. But I just got in like 2 hours ago, and
oh wow,
I ain't rested up at all, but I had to come on. So forgive me if I didn't. Sometimes I talk a lot, sometimes I don't. You know, I be at a loss for words sometimes, but I appreciate y'all helping me, and you know.
We appreciate you, and you did perfectly. I think you got everything out that parents that are listening, that teenagers that might be listening to or watching on Facebook. And I just, again, I'm completely grateful. There's been a couple of comments, and we're about to hop off, but it says, I agree. Keep fighting for the kids. You are a strong woman. Keep fighting the fight and stay strong. There's another message. It says, Lashandra, you're strong. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Others that are saying, I keep Narcan in my vehicle at all times, just in case I ever come across someone that may need it. And thank you for this show because it's very informative. Do you see that? You are changing lives, woman. I thank you for coming on. Erica, I thank you so much for coming on. And thank you, listeners, for hanging in there with us, even through the technical difficulties. We will see you guys next week. You guys have a good night.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
Why have thousands of